Yo, welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming here you two on a Wednesday night, live from Los Angeles, California, a night where the Los Angeles Dodgers got some clapback, got some get back, got some retaliation on them Sacramento A's, who beat the brakes off them last night, 11-1. And the Dodgers got the message with some news that we got earlier today. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But tonight was about the Los Angeles Dodgers bats waking up. Michael Conforto is waking up. Max Muncy clapped one tonight, right? You had a lot of guys. Hassan Kim had his first major league home run at Dodger Stadium to top that off. Shohei Ohtani clapped one. A nuke there in the bottom of the first for another leadoff home run. Paez with another one. Dodgers had 3 leadoff home runs in an inning tonight. Incredible offensive performance in a game where they quite frankly needed one after yesterday's debacle and embarrassment, which kind of looked like a PTO game, man. Looks like the players didn't have much interest in showing up yesterday. Kind of just went out there, went through the motions, did their thing, and the Dodgers kind of acted accordingly in response to that, and we'll touch on that. So Yamamoto not his best up tonight in back-to-back games, but he does. The team does get the win, and the Dodgers are finding ways to win playoff games, baseball games, not playoff games. They did that last year as well, but finding ways to win games, even when they're not at their best, even with they've got 15 pitchers on the disabled list / injured list. They have as many players on the IL as the Lakers have players on their roster. Like, just let that sink in. 15 pitchers on the IL. That's insane, right? It's just not what you would expect. Considering they went out and got all those guys, especially when you got those 2 frontline guys in Glasnow, Yamamoto, and now their rookie potential unicorn, Roki Sasaki on the IL as well with some shoulder issues, so arm issues. And it's just about riding it out, next man up, and seeing what this team can do, see what this team can put together, continue to win series after series. I would have really loved for them to come home 7-3 on that road trip, but they came home 7-4. And just continue to chip away and win series. Every single series that you can. And they got a chance to win a series tomorrow against the Sacramento A's, who I know the Dodgers were catching some heat yesterday for that performance, and deservingly so. There's no excuse to be given. There's no graces to be given. It's inexcusable to lose 11-1 to this team. But the Oakland A's have a better road record than most teams have home records. They play very well on the road because they don't really have a home field. So to them, it's almost like every game is a home field, is a road game, excuse me. They're on another team's home field almost every game. And they got guys who can hit high and average. They got guys with a lot of home run power. This is not your run-of-the-mill, just trash team. This isn't the Colorado Rockies. This isn't what this is. They can beat some teams. They can go on offensive runs, and they were second in their division. And they got some bats in that lineup, and they came out yesterday, and those bats went ballistic and did their absolute thing. But tonight, the Dodgers, they still scored 3. And the Dodgers had to grind it out for half a game before they broke it open there. And boy, did they ever break it open. Like I said, Mookie Betts with that double to clear the bases. Like I said, that Max Muncy home run, that Miguel Rojas hit. There's a lot of things in this game. Andy Pages is coming into his own, and I believe his place will, permanently going to be a corner outfielder for this team. But he's coming into his own. But his base running mishaps have got to stop. Like, he's got to figure that out. He's too good offensively. He's improving defensively. He can't be making these same rookie running mistakes that he's done early in his career. He can't continue to do that. So he's got to piece that out. He's got to figure that out, and he's got to get that together. Outside of that, there's a lot of things that went right for the Dodgers today, but there's a lot of things that went wrong yesterday that led to today's going right. And, the DFA'ing of Austin Barnes was something I did not see coming. It was something I did not expect. I would have lost a ton of bets on that. But I was wrong, right? And I don't die on a lot of hills. I don't really die on a hill. That's just close to a hill I would have came close to dying on. And that's why I don't die on hills, because I would have bet money that Austin Barnes would not have been DFA'd. Just totally took me by surprise. Now, it was the right baseball move for a team that's had a 16-0 loss, an 11-1 loss, and it kind of jolted the masses here. It's the right play from a production standpoint of what Austin was bringing to this team at the plate, both with his bat and his glove, with not being able to really throw guys out anymore. He wasn't really serving a purpose on the active roster when he was playing games. Austin Barnes' true value to this team has always been what he brings to the clubhouse, what he brings to the strategy sessions, the film sessions, what he does with the pitching staff. That's always been what he's brought to the table. But the Dodgers sitting here with Dalton Rushing in the wind, sitting here with the season that Will Smith is having, the start to this season, and you're sitting there like, man, we have to do something here. I think I know what kind of was the thinking here. I don't know for sure, but just something, a gut feeling that I'm getting here is the Dodgers like to take care of their guys, and they like to take care of their guys, right? So when they brought in Hayward for Freddie, essentially, right? They brought him in. He had a bounce back year. He played well. Then they came back and they gave him $8 million. Now, when they gave him that $8 million, they probably in the back of their mind, like, look, at some point, if we DFA this guy, Freddie's going to be happy. His guy got rejuvenated. He had a chance to resurrect his career. He had a chance to play with the Dodgers and play with Freddie again, and we gave him $8 million. So even if we DFA him, he's gonna make that money. What they did with Austin Barnes here is they could have very easily just not picked up his option and not even brought him in this year. But they wanted him to work with the pitchers. They wanted him to work with Yamamoto. They wanted him to work with Ohtani as he was rehabbing. They wanted him to work with Roki Sasaki. They wanted all that. And they got all of that. Now, there's a couple of things that tie into this coincidentally, which is a little odd. One is Kershaw coming back Saturday. That's his catcher, his personal catcher. Does the team think that, okay, now Kershaw takes that role on from Barnes? Is that what he does? But in my mind, I feel that they picked up the option. They brought him in. They got him his money. So when they DFA'd him like they did with Hayward, their vets wouldn't be upset about it because they took care of their own. And that's kind of what my gut is telling me happened here. The Dodgers probably knew he wasn't going to make the whole season. The Dodgers probably knew they weren't going to keep him. And they got him his money. This is probably a conversation they may have had with him early on. And they DFA'd him last night, and Dalton Rushing is in the show. He's here. A top prospect. And now we get to see what this kid can do. We get to see what he can do behind the plate. We get to see what he can do at the plate with the bat. Maybe see some outfield. We'll see what Dalton Rushing can do. Doc already said he's going to get 2 starts a week, probably. Maybe some pinch hitting. The kid can hit. The kid can hit. He's a natural born leader as well. He's a very, very, very good baseball player. Been tearing up the minors. Now it's all about what he does in the show. What does he do now that he's up here? That's what we got to wait and see. How many times have we seen a stud come up? Maybe he took some time. Maybe he took off right away. Dodgers are hoping that Dalton Rushing is one of those guys that takes off right away and is able to contribute to this club in a way that Austin Barnes could not. Now, a lot of people, I got a lot of DMs. It's funny. I was actually having some pretty interesting conversations about this last night with multiple people on multiple different social media platforms when it came to Barnes. And my thing with Barnes always has been that I felt they would keep him because of the intangibles of what he brings to a club in the clubhouse and preparation and strategy and having like another manager out there. And then today he got DFA, which was crazy because I was going back and forth kind of with so many different conversations and discussions, all friendly, all very back and forth with just baseball opinions. And a lot of people wanted Barnes off this team. Now, I don't believe that the Dodgers got rid of Barnes out of response to like fans wanting him gone. I think they just look back like, look, Michael Bush, some of these guys, we had to get out of here because we didn't have a place to put them. Like Dalton Rushing has a chance to be a stud. We got to find out and see what he can actually do. We got to know what he can do. And we're not going to know that until we give him a shot. We don't want to have a 25, 26, 27-year-old Dalton Rushing making his appearance in the major leagues and getting kind of a steady run there. Let's get him in here. Let's get him in here young. Let's see what he can do. We don't necessarily know where Will Smith is going to translate to towards the back end of his contract. Is he going to be a first baseman, third baseman? We don't know. I mean, I doubt he's going to be eventually a DH because of Shohei. So there's a lot of things. The way Freddie is playing, there's no end in sight for him at first base right now. So Will Smith needs a legitimate backup that can go out there and hit, that can go out there and produce. And to be honest, we need someone that if Will Smith were to get injured or need an IL stint, that we got a guy who can hold it down for a couple of weeks and not just be an automatic out and not an automatic stolen base for the opponent. The Dodgers apparently look at Dalton Rushing and see him exactly as that. Now, Dalton Rushing is going to have some ups. He's going to have some downs. It's his first trip to Major League Baseball, right? So we're going to have to wait and see how he does. But the Dodgers, this is kind of the beginning of potentially some movement here and potentially some activity here. And it's interesting because immediately after Barnes got DFA'd, I started getting texts and DMs saying CT3 next, Rojas next, Muncy next, Miller next. And those guys, some of those guys may go. Some of those guys may go. But I do, again, find it interesting that it was Barnes instead of Taylor. But Taylor being able to play multiple positions in the infield and outfield. And for me, the things that I was pretty convinced of, and now this Austin Barnes thing has kind of changed my thought process a little bit because the Dodgers are looking at this. Look, I keep saying that we have to rethink how this Dodger team does business because the way they've done business since Shohei, the way they've done it since he deferred all that money, is they operate as a team that will stop at nothing to win. And I have to constantly remind myself to reframe my thinking on this. Because what the Dodgers did today, they never would have done before. So while I thought that Barnes and CT3 would not be DFA'd for different reasons, CT3 being his service time, he needs to get to 10 years. What they did to Barnes now has me unsure of anything other than this Dodger team is committed to winning. And they're going to do whatever they feel is best for this team to put this team in position to win a world championship and go back to back. And they clearly don't want any liabilities on this team, even if it means it's a good vet in the clubhouse. They look over that and they look, that's what we got Shohei, Mookie, Freddie for. That's what we got these guys for. Teo, a Blake Snell, what you got Dave Roberts and his managing staff for. So I'm dead serious. One of the guys who thought, no way in hell Austin Barnes gets DFA'd this year. No way in hell CT3 gets DFA'd this year. No way in hell Max Muncy gets DFA'd. Now, I don't know. I don't know. Because, again, we have to retrain our thinking as to how this Dodger team does business since they've started doing business with Shohei Ohtani. And that's a good thing because he made the commitment to defer $680 million so this team can go out and give literally everything they have to win world championships. He took the sacrifice. So the Dodgers can cut no corners. They can't do it. And I'm sure when they had talks with their vets and maybe even including Shohei, maybe Shohei was fine with them keeping Barnes. Maybe Mookie and Freddie were. I'm sure they were. But the Dodgers were probably like, no, we have a window here. We've made a commitment. We have a game plan when it comes to how we're going to do things. And after last night's game, for those who watch Power, for those who watch Raising Canaan, streets need a body. They needed to air someone out. 16-0, 11-1. No. They hit the Dodgers with that. What are you doing? We don't lose 16-0. We don't lose 11-1. That's baseball. It happens. But they're like, nope, nah, we're not doing this. This happens again. you know, it's like, what's that bank robbery? You come in, we shoot you don't do this, we take it out of hostage every so-and-so. Dodgers like, all right. Every blowout like this again, we're DFA'ing a vet. We're getting someone in here who can play. Now, Austin Barnes really wasn't going to affect yesterday's game. But they sat back and looked and was like, look, we just got to make sure that we have guys that we set up the pinch hit that we can count on, that we trust. We got to put them in the field we trust. And to be honest, the appreciative portion of what Austin Barnes has meant to this team and done for this team in his 11 years of service here, he literally has been here as long as Guggenheim has owned the team. He's been to 4 World Series with us. He's won 2. He was part of the team that got cheated by the Astros. He was with us. And he's one of those once a Dodger, always a Dodger guys. He will always be a Dodger. He wasn't just passing through. Lifelong Dodger. He'll be around years from now. When they celebrate the 2020 team and 2024 team, if they win it this year, he'll get a ring. So Austin Barnes, wherever his baseball journey takes him next, I wish him the best. He's earned it. And I know a lot of fans were frustrated with him and didn't want him around anymore. Same with CT3, same with Kershaw, same with Muncy, same with all these guys. I get it. But there were our guys. And while I understand it had to happen, it always sucks when you start to see our guys go. It always sucks. While this era is continuing on into its whole new era, it is an end of an era. Kershaw's catcher is gone. Kershaw's towards the tail end of his career. Muncy's towards the end. CT3, the end. Bellinger gone. Seager gone. A lot of these guys gone. But we still got this new wave, and we still got bodies to catch in these MLB streets. And the Dodgers aren't playing when it comes to it. And nor should they. Because when Shohei sacrificed that bread, you knew what it was. You knew what you had to do. And the Dodgers are doing it. So shout out to them. And did not see this coming. Did not. But it's here now. And now let's see what the kid can do now he's called up to the show. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, I'm Empire Jeff. This is Empire Jeff TV. You are watching the Los Angeles Dodgers post-game show. The Dodgers defeat the Sacramento A's 9-3 tonight after losing 11-1 to them last night. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was the starter. Had some bullpen relief there. Kirby Yates had a big strikeout, stranding runners on base after air, and then the Dodgers went in and had themselves a pretty large inning after the fact to secure the dub. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. ready. You can also become a member to the channel for less than the cost of lunch. You can become a member for an entire month. Tap that join button or the first link in the description to become a member to the show. You can also get your MLB and NBA, NFL gear and more. Make sure to use our link at Fanatics to get special discounts, and your purchase also helps support the channel because we have partnered with the good people at Fanatics. Whenever you place an order through them via us, they make sure to take care of the channel. So it's a great way to take care of the channel, and we would greatly appreciate those who do so, as well as those who have already done so. Search, what's up, my brother? Thank you for tuning in. The mod god, the mod father, the god of mods, the best in the business. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, hey, everyone, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Go Dodgers indeed. Dan Inspiration says, Snell, Roki, Glasnow, Teo, Edmund, all core members of the team out, and we're still the best team in the NL. It's crazy. Yeah, that's one of the conversation I was having last night. I go, even with all these guys out, even with all this bad luck, even with, some stretches where we hadn't played great, we were still sitting here holding on to first place in the toughest division in Major League Baseball. Shout out to the Padres. Shout out to the Giants for the way that they started this season. It's all fun and games. I poke fun, but I actually respect what they're doing. Fernando Tatis Jr. is off to an MVP start this season. Let's see if he can keep it up. Can he stay healthy? I still expect Shohei Ohtani, when it's all said and done, to be a finalist and potential winner for the MVP, especially if he's pitching. But Fernando's off to a fantastic start. He's bullying baseballs out there right now. He's doing it. But the way Freddie Freeman has started this season, too, he's been phenomenal. Phenomenal. There's some surprises in this season, and there's some non-surprises. I felt the Padres were going to be good. I said that in the offseason. I go, look, their future has some concerns there with some of those contracts, some of the age of those guys, the way that team is built. But they're going to be a good baseball team, and they're going to be a nightmare to someone in a short series in the first round. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. We'll see what this team looks like. I don't know if they're going to end up selling Cease, King, Arise. Don't know if those guys are going to be there when it's all said and done, but they're not just going to give them away. They're going to move them from guys who have some control that can still help them win this season. It's a very good team. They've had a very interesting series with the Angels. They had that game one where they gave up like 6 runs in the ninth to lose to the Angels, and then last night they had to come back and get that walk-off by Tatis Jr., and tonight was a weird game, too. They ended up winning 6-4, but they were leading like 3-1, 4-1 most of that game. Angels came back, and then the Padres got the win. So Angels put a little scare into the Padres, made them work. Those same Angels are coming in to face the Dodgers this weekend. So Dodgers got to continue to grind because, even when they win, the Padres keep winning. And I think they're only up a half game right now. I haven't checked the standings since the game ended, but they went in a half game up. They both won. And they were 3 games ahead of the Giants to start the night. Way too early to worry about standings, but again, the way you start a season affects the way you end it, and the way that these two teams are going at it is very similar to the 2021 season with the Dodgers and Giants, and it just felt like the Dodgers could not catch them, and they ended up not catching them, and that was a lot of energy taken out of that team, and they ended up losing to the Atlanta Braves that year. They did beat the Giants in San Francisco, but that was one heck of a season. And then the way this season is starting out now with the Padres and the Dodgers is starting to shape out that way. And the Giants got off to a great start too. I still expect the Arizona Diamondbacks to catch a little run, to get going a little bit. They did take 2 of 4 from the Dodgers. They did split that series. That's a very good baseball team down there too. Incredible pitching. Those bats can get hot in a hurry. I know I haven't done a show in about a week. So that game last week in Arizona was absolutely ridiculous where Shohei clapped that go-ahead home run to make it 14-11. I mean, what a game that one was. I was not home to do a show for that game. I've been getting home later, so I haven't been able to do any shows. I've been keeping up with like the shorts and the reels and all that stuff, doing the short form content. Haven't had a chance to pull up and do a long form one, but I did tonight, and really wanted to hang out with you guys tonight and talk some Dodger baseball. But a lot of things the Dodgers are going to be improving on over the season. They're going to be, probably moving some players around. Very interested to see what happens with that center field position, that third base position with Muncy. Hassan Kim coming up, getting his first home run tonight. He can play center. He can play second. He can play short. I think that kid is here to stay, especially with that speed. His concern was always going to be the bat. Is he going to be able to hit enough to stay up at the major league level? And so far, he's hitting north of 300. Like I said, the first home run tonight. He's got the speed. He's got the glove. He's got everything that you could want him to have. Now it's just a matter of, is he going to be able to keep it up? And that's where people are going to be concerned about. That's what they're going to be looking at. And I think that the kid has a chance to keep it up for sure. I think he absolutely has a chance to keep it up. And when he got over here, I know that there were a lot of people that had concerns about his bat. And the KBO, and talk about what hitting is like in the KBO and what it's like when those guys come over to the major leagues. And while I understand all that, the lineup he's playing in this Dodger machine, the development, I think he's going to have an excellent chance to succeed. And because the other things he does, like I said, with his glove, with his speed, I think it just benefits him tremendously to where he can get up here and he can perform at a high level in this lineup. And I think the Dodgers are going to give him a chance to do that. And I think he's going to be here for a while. And multiple positions there. And you got Edman, you got Mookie, you got Rojas, you got Kike. Who, for right now, you got CT3. You got guys you can move around the diamond, and Kim is just another guy that you can do that with. He fits right into the Dodger mold. And I would expect that the Dodgers were in on him mainly because of that. That's one of the major reasons they probably went after him. So the Dodgers got a lot of guys out. Got to get that going. Got to get guys back. And this National League West and Major League Baseball in general, this year is going to be nuts. Trying in Gratterall, if we had them, we could have saved at least 4 games. The relievers failed us about 4 games. Yeah, because they're kind of being ran through right now. So that's what I was talking about last night. Like Landon Knack is your 8th or 9th starter. I know a lot of people don't like Landon Knack, but he served a pretty good purpose last year. And I think he's going to serve a purpose this year. He didn't. It's crazy to say he didn't have a terrible game yesterday. There were moments where he had 8 Ks. You know what I mean? Like he has chances to give you games where he can go out there and pitch 6-7 innings, get you a win, or at least put you in position to win and save your guys some innings there. So he's the type of guy that I think we're going to see multiple times this year. Kasparius as well. Sauer. We're going to see some of these guys out there that are mainly put out there to help kind of get us through this portion where we got 4 of our starting pitchers out that are going to play some innings at 5 because Shohei. So they're going to be counted on. And the Dodger bats just have to understand in those games, they're going to have to step up. You got to give Landon Knack some run support. You got to get out there. Give him a 5-0 lead for once. Let's see what he can do pitching from ahead instead of behind. Let's get him some mental confidence out there on the hill. That's what you got to do for this guy. Like that offensive output they had today, like it was 3-3 for a while. Then just boom. Dodgers got going. Well, it was 3-2, then 3-3, then the Dodgers got going. So technically, the Dodgers came back after they were down 3-2. Outscored them, 7-0. But guys like Landon Knack, guys like Kasparius, these guys you're going to need. There'll be more. There'll be other guys coming up from the minors. There'll be other guys they bring in for a couple of weeks and then DFA. The guy will get a couple of starts. The guys are, why are they starting this guy? And it's going to be pretty simple. It's because we need them to eat some innings. We want them to eat some innings. Save our guys. There's going to be points where guys go on the IL that really don't have anything wrong with them other than they're maybe tired, fatigued, sore, and they're just going to let them rest it off. They're going to let them sit there. They're going to let them chill. Let these other guys go out there and eat some innings. The Dodgers are like, look, as long as we're in position to win the division, as long as we're in position to play for the best record in Major League Baseball, as long as we're in position to go into the playoffs healthy, which is more than likely going to be their main goal, this is what the Dodgers organization is going to be looking for. This is what they're going to be aiming for. And these players are going to be in and out of the lineup as a result of it. And this is just kind of the start of that. And we're going to continue to see that along the way. Dan Inspiration says, okay, so you got to that one already. Do you think Luis Robert Jr. could be a rental for the Dodgers? The Dodgers try to grab Tucker in the offseason? Yes. I think Luis Robert Jr. is a guy that could very well end up on the Dodgers, but there's more than that. The Dodgers are have kind of had discussions with some guys that aren't even out there. The Dodgers have had multiple talks about center fielders. They've had discussions about third base. I said on a couple shows ago, the Dodgers can have a move for a third baseman right now if they wanted to. They have kind of a framework in place. They could have a move for Luis Robert Jr. right now if they wanted to. They kind of had a framework in place there. The Dodgers have talked to the White Sox numerous times. They've got an outstanding relationship. There's kind of a standing, hey, let us get the last offer here, like we got with Kopech. Let us get the last offer here, like you've given us a couple times. The Dodgers, believe it or not, had the last offer, had the last chance, first right of refusal on Cease. They went back to him after with what Boston offered. After what the Padres offered. They had a chance with Crochet. They went back to him. The Dodgers elected to pass on it. But those guys have a very, very good working relationship with each other. So if it gets close to a point where Luis Robert Jr. could be moved, the Dodgers will be talking to the White Sox about it. This I guarantee you. Doesn't mean a deal will get done. He started to heat up a little bit. The glove's always been there, but the bat's starting to heat up a little bit. He goes on a little bit of a mini run here. I think the White Sox may look to move him sooner rather than later, but some teams may want to wait it out. They may want to wait it out. Look, Luis Robert Jr., if he's plugged into this Dodgers lineup, has a chance to do star-level things in this Dodger lineup. Because like I said, the glove is there. He's going to bring that automatically. That glove comes with him. Defense travels, right? It's going to be about the bat. Can he live up to the pressure here? Can he handle it? Can he get things done? If this is all if he moves here. It's a big if, but he's definitely on the Dodger radar. It's definitely someone the Dodgers can get. It's definitely someone the Dodgers have talked about getting. This is a fact. They've met internally numerous times about this. They've talked to the White Sox numerous times about this. I think there's more than a decent chance that Luis Robert does become a Dodger. But there are other guys out there, and those names haven't really leaked yet. There's also a chance that someone could be playing that hot corner other than Max Muncy this year. But we will wait and see. So like I said, kind of like how we had to like really, like when we were like, yo, this chair is tripping hard. When they were like, when the Lakers got Luka, and we're like, look, things we never thought were possible before, we have to consider. We have to think this now because they did it. They pulled it off. We have to change our thinking here. So the Dodgers doing what they did today with Barnes was something I never imagined in 100 years. I didn't imagine he would be a Dodger for 5 more years, but I just did no way, shape, or form imagine he'd get DFA'd today. No way. I was 100% wrong about that, and that's okay because I think it benefits us moving forward. I just didn't think they'd do it because of what he brings to the table for the team itself. But for the on-the-field play, it was the right move. I just didn't think they'd do it. Now we got to think about that when it comes to CT3, Muncy, Miller. We got to think about this now. We got to think about this because there's another team over there that the Dodgers have a fantastic relationship with who may have to move their former third baseman. I'm talking about Boston and Rafael Devers. I'm just saying, when you start going down the path of what the Dodgers need versus who has those type of players, and they're probably one of their guys that are on speed dial, you got to consider it. You got to think about it. Now, people would say, oh, Boston will never trade with the Dodgers again. They fleeced them on Mookie. Boston was the one who reached out to the Dodgers. They were looking. The Boston Red Sox used the Los Angeles Dodgers to dump salary. They've done it a few times. They did it with the Adrian Gonzalez trade. They had to take on multiple players there because they wanted to get Adrian Gonzalez. Then they had to take on David Price to get Mookie Betts. So it's not like the Dodgers fleeced Boston because they cleared their books, which is what Boston wanted. So at the end of the day, Boston got out of that deal exactly what they wanted. And of course, the Dodgers got what they wanted, getting Mookie Betts. So that wasn't a fleece from a perspective of one team robbing another. They both got exactly what they wanted in that trade. The team that got absolutely fleeced and robbed was Atlanta with Freddie, because the best years of Freddie happened after he left Atlanta, and they botched that. They absolutely botched that. Obviously Anaheim and Shohei. But when it comes down to it, a center fielder like Robert Jr., a third baseman like a Nolan Arenado, who's having a resurgent year. The Cardinals had won like 9 in a row a couple days ago. The pitching has been doing their thing. Arenado still plays a mean third base defensively. And if that bat gets put into this lineup, I'm convinced it would wake up even more. The Dodgers and Cardinals have a standing kind of understanding. That's where Arenado wants to go, and he can veto any trade. So he is not waiving a trade to another team until he 100% believes the Dodgers are out. So again, you come back and like, whoa, but they stole Edman from the Cardinals. Yeah, they did. But they were trying to get Edman for years. Cardinals finally caved. This is the opposite. The Cardinals are trying to trade Nolan Arenado now for years. It's going to be the Dodgers finally caving when that deal goes down. So those narratives flip. The Dodgers called today, say, yo, we'll take him. It's done. It's done. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, nor that's the best deal for them. The Devers one is interesting. That's a crazy one. That's a crazy one. But one thing we've learned and one thing we've seen, don't ever count nothing out when it comes to this team. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. But yeah, Luis Robert Jr. is definitely someone that can change. Thoughts on the playoffs so far? I'm not going to talk too much basketball tonight, but the playoffs are, they're interesting to say the least. They're interesting. It really does suck about Tatum, man. I'm sick for Tatum. That sucks. I'm a Laker fan, right? And I know Laker fans don't like Boston. I never want to see a guy go down, especially Achilles, man. That's brutal. That really sucked. Look, don't call me crazy. I still think Boston can win this series. I think obviously the Knicks are in the driver's seat, but Boston tends to play better on the road than at home. And if they go out there and go ballistic in Game 6, anything can happen in a Game 7. The Knicks are not out of the woods yet. Neither are the Thunder. I have no idea what's going on right now with Minnesota and Golden State because I watched the Dodger game and I jumped on here. Steph's not playing. That team is more than likely cooked, but not too much into basketball tonight. What's going on, Michael? Appreciate you for tuning in, man. Jeffrey, should the Dodgers trade for a pitcher at the trade deadline? Well, Michael, it's going to depend on what the status of these players look like at the trade deadline. Is Snell back? Is Glasnow back? What's Rocky's situation? How is Kershaw pitching? Is Ohtani back to pitching? Did May hold up? How's Gosselin throwing? It's going to determine. Sandy Alcantara is a name to look at for a lot of teams in Major League Baseball. He's been linked to the Dodgers in the past. He's been linked to them now. You got old friend Jack Flaherty, who could be available again. You got a bunch of guys who could be available. Just a matter of who do the Dodgers have healthy at the time where the trade deadline is. Walker Buehler potentially could be available again, too. So there's a maybe to that. But I think if the Dodgers get all their guys back healthy, I don't think they're really looking at that. Dan Inspiration says, why don't the Dodgers get Honeywell back? Honeywell is better than Ed Garcia. The Dodgers really believe that Knack could be a fit for them. Like they really believe that. Now, whether they're right on that or whether that can happen remains to be seen. But they like Landon Knack. They think they can make something out of him. But the others, yeah. Honeywell, I think the lure and kind of like the hype of him because the players liked him and the story around the World Series and the parade and all that was great. But I don't think the Dodger organization was ever really too high on him. Lakers Dodgers for life. What's up, my guy? Appreciate you for tuning in as always. What's up, Jeff? With Edman and Teo coming back soon, and with Pages, Muncy, Kim, and even Conforto coming around, I think Conforto becomes the odd man out, and Outman will be sent down once again. How do you see this playing out? Yeah, so I think Outman is running out of options. He's running out. I think it was his 28th birthday today. He's running out of options the amount of time he could be sent down. I think Conforto potentially could be the odd man out. He has, oddly enough, as he started to get going. If there's a trade for Luis Robert or something like that, Conforto, CT3, Muncy, like those guys with that money are probably going to be the guys to move. You know what? Miggy Rose, oh man, I don't want to, because we just saw this with Barnes. Again, the Dodgers have a lot of these guys that they really love on the leadership level. Muncy, Rojas, very vocal leaders. Very, very vocal leaders. I would be surprised if they don't keep at least one of them. They like what Miggy brings, especially with the Latin players. They really like what he brings to a leadership perspective. They really like him. Like from like the way that he even bridges Spanish to Japanese, like with the players. Like there's a lot of things that if you can't just get rid of all those guys because the fabric to your team kind of goes away. But Conforto definitely could be a guy out, but it depends who they go after. It depends how big of a fish they go hunting for. That's going to be a completely different scenario, because when you sit up here and you talk about who the Dodgers would trade for, like I said, Arenado's not going to cost a lot of talent. So you have to send some money out, agree to work some mathematics there. Devers would be a little bit more expensive, if that's even an option. Roberts, depending on what the White Sox want for him at the time of the deal, if he starts taking off, if he catches fire, the White Sox would love to wait till the bat gets hot and you can get that price up there. But he has a very weird structure to his deal. It's $15 million this year. He's got a $20 million club option next year, $2 million, essentially buyout, guaranteed money for the next year, or you can keep him for 15 this year, 2020, 20 next year, 20 for the year after that. And that's good money for a guy if he's playing at a star level. So the Dodgers are going to have to think really long and hard about Luis Robert Jr., but it is very low risk, high reward, because you're not locked into him long term. You have options with him. And if he turns into a star, you're underpaying him. So I think it's very possible that Luis Roberts, for a variety of reasons, that Luis Robert Jr., for his glove, for his potential in this lineup, for his age, for his skill set, I think Luis Robert Jr. has a strong chance to be a Los Angeles Dodger trade candidate for sure. But a lot of things will have to play out, including health, before we know what happens. Minnesota won the series tonight. Okay, cool. Thank you. I saw earlier. I saw the score earlier, but I wasn't watching the actual game. Chris, what's up, my brother? I got hiccups. What's up, Chris, my brother? Chris, appreciate you, man. Eminem will be missed. Saw the Austin Barnes. Did kind of little Marshall Mathers to him, right? I'm not afraid version of M, right? With the dark hair. And no beard. The beard's weird, right? Eminem. Austin Barnes kind of looked like M a little bit, they said. Let's see. Yeah, Chris had the chat thinking Eminem was gone. That's comedy. Bro, I had to check Eminem's news because of your comment. That's funny. Austin Barnes looks like that's right. Chris up here calls it a third. Yeah, bro. I would have. That would have been. That would have been rough. That would have been real rough, Chris. I can't even hold you guys, man. When I kind of saw that in the chat with my one good eye, right? I kind of looked at it. I saw it. I was like, oh, wait, was it? But I knew the reference, but it still caught me up. I was like, took me, I would say, half a second. Chris out here messing with people. But yeah, good win tonight though, man. The Dodgers really needed a bounce back win. Not that they necessarily need to beat the A's. They really needed a bounce back from 11-1 loss, and I felt it was good for the team to get up there and kind of pulverize the team on a day where one of their own got DFA'd, one of their guys, and I think that is that's good to see. That's something you need to see. And that is something that hopefully they can continue to ride the wave. Because like I said, the Dodgers like, look, streets need a body after you had a 16-0, 11-1. Streets need a body. Someone's getting aired out. Unfortunately, it ended up being Austin Barnes. And one of our long-term guys that have been around forever, a longest tenured active Dodger is gone in Austin Barnes. And, it's bittersweet, because he's a guy that, like I said, had a lot of impact on this team. He's a guy who had a lot of impact on championships from a perspective of just how he fit into a team. And the Dodgers really loved him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's back in some type of capacity, even in the minor leagues, once his career is officially over. I know a lot of people will say it's already officially over, Jeff. From a playing perspective, and I can understand that, but I'm saying when he like officially announces a retirement, I think would be something that we'll have to wait and see at. So good win for the Dodgers today. Hopefully they can win the series tomorrow. Got the Angels coming in this weekend, who again played the played the Padres well in the series down there. Remember, nobody listens to M. Yeah, that's crazy. Like M, does no one in the hood listens to M. Y'all been to Detroit? Detroit is a hood. Plenty of people listen to M in the hood. If Eminem died, would be shocked as much as if someone said Snoop died. Same level. Snoop's name rings out, but I think M's a bigger star than Snoop, though. If you need a beer, man, that was kind of on a lighter note. Whataburger or In-N-Out? In-N-Out for me. I think Whataburger is whatever. To be honest with you, how concerned are you about Snell? I'm not concerned. I think you know what? I think the Dodgers are doing this thing where it's like, look, we don't care if you miss 3 months. We don't care. We want you in October. We've got enough to probably win the division, even with nuts and bolts. We need you in October. And whatever we got to do to stretch that out, Glasnow, Roki, Snell, Ohtani, even the way they've done with Ohtani and not having him get out there and pitch. Like, even the way they've done that. Like, I had heard that Teo didn't even really have to go on the IL. Like, nope, no chance. Freddie, your ankle to start? Nope, you're not playing. Like, if you look how the Dodgers have treated every player when it comes to no risk for long-term injury, this kind of falls into that. And Dave flat out said, like, we don't know how long Roki's going to be out. We really don't care as long as we know we can count on him to help us win a game in the World Series. That right there pretty much sums up the train of thought for the Los Angeles Dodgers right now, and I absolutely agree with them. I agree with them. I think that they have put themselves into position to have all these guys, and when they get into that middle of the season, kind of the dog days or something, get in there. I think we're gonna see a stretch in the season where they really take off and go dummy. I still think it's gonna happen. I still think we're gonna see points in the season where it feels like they haven't lost in a month. I think we're gonna see that, and when we see that, it's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to see. But I wouldn't say on a scale of 1 to 10, Lakers, Dodgers for life. Us concerned about Snell, I would say 3.5, 4. 3.5, 4. But I'm pretty convinced it's gonna be okay. Whoa, nah, I know what you mean. Five Guys it tastes like kind of like a homemade burger, you know. But I love In-N-Out. I know it's become popular to bash In-N-Out for their fries and this and that. I love In-N-Out, man. Still do, still always will. Still always will. Catman has been good for us. Forgot how good he was. Yeah, Catman's always been solid, especially when it comes to getting out of jams, man. That guy is nasty. And Dustin May, like, we got guys who can carry us, y'all. That's the thing. When we sit back and we looked and we had Yamamoto, when we knew we had all these other guys, Kershaw, I still think Kershaw can come back and help this team, y'all. I still think he can. He had some really good games last year. I think he can help this team. You got Catman. You got Dustin May. You got guys who can go out there and get some things done. I think they're going to hold it down. Do you usually get the shakes in In-N-Out? Not gonna lie, man. The shakes be odd for me, but it's good as hell. Hell yeah. I'll get shakes. Usually more in the summertime though, but I can't do like burger fries and a shake. I'll be full as hell. So sometimes I go just get like a shake, right? I'll walk and just get a shake, or drive through and get a shake. But mostly, the burgers and fries, man. Typically what I roll with, man. I think May might be a trade chip. They letting him pitch to showcase him. Got to pay him after this year, so I do expect a trade. Well, man, it'll depend on who they're going after. If someone wants him and he's the piece of a trade, because they're probably not going to trade a rushing, then maybe he's a guy you do move. But, it's his walk year, but he also may feel some type of loyalty to him too, right? So, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know how that's going to play out here. We're going to have to wait and see how that goes. Let's see here. Well, that's why In-N-Out doesn't allow their food on any of the delivery apps. So, like, nope, our food needs to be eaten like here, or if you take it home yourself, that's on you. But it's designed and made to be eaten there. Let's see. Low key, the Big Mac tastes low key like In-N-Out. Not gonna lie, nah, not even nowhere near the same quality. Chris says, Jeff, what was the story of Dustin May almost dying? Yeah, so he had like a reaction that basically his esophagus technically ruptured and almost killed him if he didn't get to the hospital in time. So he almost died from eating lettuce because of the reaction to it. Yeah, that shouldn't happen, right? That's just craziness. It's a horrible story, and he could have died. Insane when you think about it. I say that only because he was gonna go see a doctor, maybe just precautionary. So Glasnow and him are both going to see him. for everything I've heard and understood that to be, was a precautionary move, just to make sure that recovery is going as expected, not setback for like, oh, we're going backwards. So the setback for Snell wasn't that he got worse. It's just that he's not improving as fast as they would hope. But he's not 25, 27 anymore. It's going to take a little bit longer. So mostly just precautionary from everything I heard. And then I heard that publicly earlier today, but I heard like a couple of days ago that they feel pretty good about it. But we'll have to wait and see, how it goes. Checking in on Lucky. He doing good. Yeah, Lucky's doing good, man. He was celebrating Mookie doing his thing, but he's off with his mommy right now. Lucky's actually taking the night off from the show today. He hasn't come over here yet. He came by. He gave me his high five after the game won. So my wife will say, go give daddy a high five. He'll come up, he'll run, he'll jump up, he'll put his paw up, he'll give me a dap, and he'll go back to where he is. So he came and got his high five and he dipped out. What's funny is how hella baseball players hurl on the field. Yeah, they can, man. It's you know what? More of them do that you don't see. Like you don't see. If you go to a game, you could that's true. You can see it sometimes. That does happen. NFL players do it too. So, but yeah, good show tonight, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Dodgers get the dub. Hopefully they can win the series tomorrow night. Hopefully they can start to get some guys back. Kershaw night is going to be Saturday. And as we start to get some of these guys back, I think we're getting closer and closer to a Shohei announcement as far as when he may be on the mound again. So if that's the case, I expect him to be sometimes next month. We start to have a better understanding of it. Maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe even sooner than that. Start to have a general understanding of when he's going to be on the mound. Yamamoto, like I said, has had, his last two starts haven't been up to his normal par to start the season, but that's going to happen. Ebbs and flows. He still had dominant pitches in this game. And we just need to get some of these guys back and lighten the load and some rest for the weary here and get these guys back on track. And so, just kind of take the edge off for some of these other guys. Let's see. He was emotional. He was excited. He beat his former team. There was a lot going on. I don't look into all that, all the narrative stuff of you can't talk to people. You can't celebrate a minor win. It's championships or nothing. Like I don't subscribe to any of that. I think like when you come from where some of these guys come from and you had a chance to make money to feed your family and you go out there and you're one of the best players in the world. Look, even the top 10 worst players in the NBA are still one of the best players in the world. You're there. You got a chance to win something. Look, if we can celebrate a midseason tournament, right, then they can celebrate a play-in win. That's how I look at it. Lucky needs his own camera for the lives. Yeah, you know what? I should probably do that. He just doesn't hold still long enough. I got to do one with a tracker. You know what I mean? Because that boy be moving. He be moving. What about Kim doing his Barry Bonds impression? Yeah. So, Kim, man, look, this kid has a chance to be a stud, man. I know a lot of people were down on his batting potentially coming from the KBO, but I think this guy has a chance to be something. We're going to have to wait and see. Wait and see if he can keep this up. Got to do a live stream with Lucky, or better yet, make your own Lucky bobblehead. You know what? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So I'm actually kind of what do you call it? Like I'm kind of like A/B testing another channel for something else, and Lucky potentially could be involved in that a lot. My wife could be involved in it a lot. My people's like me. I'm testing kind of something different, and for the simple, I love what I do here. I love this. But I'm not always able to sit down and do this, right? Sit down and do the lives as much as why I was when I first started the channel. I got a lot of equipment. I've been blessed and been given a lot of things and equipment to do stuff on the go, and I need to really start incorporating that to this channel as well. But I got something I'm working on. It's kind of like wide range, and it's not just sports. It's all kinds of other things, different side of me, different side of my life. And this will always be the home base. This will always be, the number one. But to be able to take my camera out, film, post, and do all this stuff, like I got something else coming soon. Remember you saying a lot of these guys don't want to win as bad? You think? Guess that fits the mold. Yeah, I mean, these guys want to win, but they don't make it necessarily their top priority. I feel like sometimes fans want to win more than some of the players do, right? Because the players it's a job. Some of them that don't love the game as much as others. It's a job. They get their paycheck, they go home for the summer, and they live it up. To them, it's different. It's different. So, I've had guys flat out tell me, like, look, man, like football was my favorite sport, but I was better at basketball. I got in, I got the bread, I got that check till they stopped wanting to give it to me, and then I was out. But I never really enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed being a professional athlete, but they said they didn't like to travel, they didn't like being away, especially if they had their family and had kids. There's some people who love every second of it. There's people that love half of it, and there's people who really treat it like a job that they have to go to, and look forward towards retirement. Like I've heard multiple different stories and different versions of this, right? So not everybody is like that, for sure. New channel I'm in. Yeah, I got something that's gonna be kind of cool. It's kind of totally different from what I do here. It's a different level, different layer. I feel like this here, especially basketball, is a very saturated, toxic space at times. And I like what we do. Like I like a lot of the people I work with, both on my channel and off. But the space in general, the way the NBA is going, a lot of the shows kind of being the same. Like if you go around, topic pops off, you got 30 shows doing basically the same show every night. I don't want to be cookie cutted into that, right? I'm always going to try to find something a little bit out there. And I'm always saying, like, when it comes to basketball, it's like every other channel we go, every other video, no matter where I go, I see the same show. Because it's like all the shows are the same, right? It's the same story, the same topics coming from the same article, from the same hot take, from the same Twitter post, quoting someone else's podcast. Like, it's dying, man. It's dying, right? And so for me, like I found other avenues. Like I said, I've been testing a couple of different things that have nothing to do with sports and been doing fairly well. And then I've taken Empire Jeff TV to other platforms that I can go out there and do for a minute, and then get 80,000 views from a minute clip and get my 59 minutes back of that hour. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of different things I've been testing, and it just feels it's just so much better and different than being in this just clog of rinse and repeat of NBA coverage. That's why I love doing the baseball coverage, because it's totally different. I wish you could celebrate every win to a round of basketball like they do in baseball. Man, it helps you live in the moment. To each his own. I don't ever sit here and say, like, people can't celebrate winning this or doing that, or, what I mean? Every day you get paid to be a professional athlete to win. That's why a lot of these guys like talk like they're speak on things, and they've never even played like high school basketball. They never even played like middle school basketball, right? They never played any type of organized basketball or organized sports, never coached, never was part of like any type of training, no type of recovery, no type of nutritionist for a team, nothing, right? Nothing. They've never been around a team their entire life. And yet they think that they know what it's like, and to judge guys that do this for a living, right? Guys that don't get up to go to work when they have a cold will judge someone out there with damn near half a torn knee that can't play, right? So I don't like getting on players like that, because it's different when you have kind of relationships, or it's different when you know more than just being a fan perspective, right? So it's the internet is a weird place when it comes to opinions and what people think they know. I know you taught Lucky well. I'm sure me and Lucky would have some good baseball conversations. Yeah, Lucky for, like, I know it's gonna sound funny when I say this, but Lucky is a trash talking dog. Like he's a beagle, right? So by nature, he's playful and he likes to, like, he's like mischievous. Like he'll tease you, like he'll snatch up like your own shoe or your wallet and be like, come get it. And as soon as you take a step towards him, he'll book it and you can't catch him. So like, look, yeah, Lucky's fun, man. Lucky's fun, man. Email me the channel. I got you, Serge. Let me see. Legit Jeremy Lamb outed Kevin Martin, saying he didn't want to score too much because he didn't want to be an all-star, because he wanted this personal time. Makes me think I've been telling you this. All right, guys. I heard I had guys tell me that they faked an injury. That's why the league started saying if you were injured, you had to go to the game, because there were guys that were faking injuries because they wanted to go on vacation instead of the all-star game. Like, that's a real thing. It's real. I've heard it myself. It's real. It's a real thing. Austin Reeves or Austin Barnes. Are you asking me, or did I misspeak on them? I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing something different. I feel like I said, it's just the same thing over and over and over. And I've never subscribed to that, which is why I don't do shows every night. I don't have the FOMO. I don't have the fear of missing out. I don't have that, if they don't see me every night, they're going to forget about me. I have to be the one they look for. I don't I don't care about that. I've told you guys that a million times. I got a good life off the internet. I like being in that too. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to be that guy that's here every night because I don't need to be. I like hanging with y'all. I really, really do. And I wish I had more time. Right. But the truth of the matter is I don't. I'm a very busy man. I've got a lot of responsibilities, both professionally and personally. And this is something I get in when I can, right? I like doing it. I enjoy it, but the clips are easier. You know, they're easier for me to do and kind of stay out there. That's why me and Lucky would get along. Yeah. You would love Lucky, man. He a G. Let's see. Don't care. What's going on? Don't care. What up, Jeff? Just got home from the game with my mini Death Star. That's what's up, man. Good game for you to be at. Happy you didn't go last night. How many are any of y'all going to the Yankee game? I'm going Saturday and Sunday. I have not bought tickets for Friday yet, but I will be there Saturday and Sunday for the Yankee game. And I'm trying to line up to be there for the Mets games too. Some of them. In your eyes, why do so many writers like Shelburne make hit pieces on players at random times? Seems like they got to kick out reporting random things. I heard Lakers fired her from the circle. So you got to understand. All right. So think about it. You've got these editors and these producers, and she's got bosses that are like, look, what are your they're judged for their numbers. Like someone like her, someone like these guys, they're looked at their engagements on their social media. They're looked at what their articles pull on the internet. They're looked at how many people change the channel when they're on TV. They looked at how many people change the channel when they're on the radio. These are all measured, right? So these professional like media people have to drive traffic. It's why newspapers went under it. It stopped driving traffic. So the word clickbait literally came from them having to get clicks to be relevant. So people like this, now I will say this, she is a reputable reporter. She's not making things up. I can tell you this. Now, does it mean that she should have put it out? Probably not. But from if you want a relationship with a player like that, right? But I can tell you that article like that is exactly what her network wants. It's exactly why she has a job. It's exactly why she's employed. If she doesn't put out stuff like that and she's just covering the sport, putting out stats and talking about what happened in a game that everybody already knows, she's not adding any insight or any value from a fan perspective who want that inside scoop, then she probably doesn't have a job. And that's why she does it, because of the way of today's media is the more controversial or the more toxic or the more drama is what drives the clicks and the ratings. And Russ, for all that I like to say good about him, is just a magnet for negativity and negative publicity because it works whenever his name is involved in it. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but she's doing her job. She's doing her job. And that's how it's going to be. It's going to be that way for a while. For a good while. Let's see. I'll be there again tomorrow for Otani. Man, that's what's up. The bobblehead. Ramona needs to be Jenny focus. Wow. Going to Sunday's Yankee game. Yeah, so I'm going to Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to pull off all three. I don't know if I'm going to go to 3 games in a row. I hate how ESPN got rid of the analysts and went to the clickbait road. Yeah, they got rid of a lot of their real basketball coverage people, like really good writers, really good storytellers, really good information, really good basketball education. They did get rid of a lot of guys and girls women who could really paint a picture and were just really, really good writers. And a lot of those guys are gone because it's just a new wave of media. Jeff, if the Dodgers had other players' health, it makes you think what their record would be. Yeah. They would be, like I said, the fact that they're still number 1 in the NL West, even without all those guys, kind of tells you, they're going to be phenomenal, right? Like when they get going and when they get right, they're going to be fine. This team is built for the long haul. Absolutely. And they will continue to be kind of managed in a way to keep their guys eligible to be able to play come October, because that's going to be the most important thing to this ball club, as it should be. They need to do whatever they can do to make sure that they don't find themselves in a situation like they did in the playoffs last year, where they literally had 2.5 starters and needed guys to play way above their heads, and Walker Buehler have phenomenal moments, and Like I said, they didn't know what they had left if it didn't work that game in New York, which is crazy, right? So they have to figure that portion of it out. CT3, next one on the cutting back. How much longer does he last? Says, don't care. I touched on that at length. I think CT3 is a little bit more complicated because of his service time situation. I don't know because what happened today with Barnes, I never would have guessed would happen. But I do think his service time thing is a little complicated. So I think a trade is probably more likely than a DFA because if they do trade him someone, they would probably want to trade it to a team that they believe would keep him for the rest of the year so he can get his service time. So I think the Dodgers are trying to do right by him. And I think that's okay. And I think that's the honorable thing to do. But I think it's a little bit more difficult than Austin Barnes, who had 11 years of service time. What's funny is I see Ramona on the team's post-game interviews. I understand you got to exaggerate and be creative to get clicks. Yep. I will say this: when guys like Braun or guys from that era retire, a lot of these guys won't have jobs no more. Well, a lot of YouTubers won't have jobs either, right? A lot of YouTubers won't have content anymore without Braun. They'll just continue having the GOAT debate over and over and over and over. They'll keep looking at stats on the internet and speak about eras and times that they did not witness or be part of. And it's just not for me, man. It's not for me, but who am I? Who am I to judge, right? I'm a nobody. It's just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for someone else. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real about that. Like, it's just what's not for me. Maybe I'm not for them. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of it, is what you don't like, you don't got to watch, and what you do like, you watch, and vice versa, right? There is no right and wrong from my perspective. For me, it's just what I like and what I don't like. That's all it really is to me. I've said this, and I'll continue to say this. I don't care what you do content wise. Unless you're just out there doing crazy stuff, right? I don't care what you do content wise. I respect the fact if you're a content creator. I respect the fact if you put in the grind, put in the work. And holding that sneeze back for a minute. I don't care whether I can't even say I dislike anybody, right? But like whether I like do work with you, don't work with you, this and that. Like, I will always respect a content creator's grind. I will always respect the amount of work they put in. I will always respect the sacrifice they make. I don't understand how some of them like do it without like going out there really trying to provide for their family. Like, you're really still trying to pop off 10 years in without really making any game changing money. Like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't live in my house all day happy with making scraps just so I can say them on the internet. Like, I can't do that. But does it, just because I can't do that, because I got to handle my business as a man, doesn't mean that like that's for someone else, right? That because me sitting in the house playing video games, or me sitting in the house popping on live whenever I need to still make ends, to barely make ends meet, like that life's not for me. But to each his own, right? That's all it is. So it makes it to where like everyone feels like they have to be first with their opinion as opposed to be right, and has to be the first one out there, has to jump in the wave, has to follow the wave, has to follow the leader, can't think independently. Like, all that stuff is what makes it stale. And that's why it's very cookie cut, but it's also very smart because you're riding a wave, and it's like that topic is getting views. So you're going to jump on it. You may not know much about it. You may not be most informed. You may be just saying what the other person just said, but it's what's getting the attention. So what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? So like someone like me, I don't care if I do a video and it got 5 views, but I felt good about the show. I don't care because I'm not eating off 5 or 5,000 views. I don't care. You know what I mean? But there's people who really have to get those views to be able to get, like buy. All right. So that life's never going to be for me. So I don't chase the corny stuff. I don't do the weirdo stuff because of that. I just say what I think is right. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't operate within that space because they're not really comfortable with putting themselves out there like that. Like, there could be 100 people in the room and 99 people say one thing, but I strongly believe in that other. Like, I'll hear them out because, like, yo, I'm the only one that disagrees with this. But if I feel strongly about it, I'm going to stick to my principles if I feel and know that I'm right until I'm convinced otherwise. And now I'm not going to, now if it clicks on my head like, oh man, I'm wrong, I'm not continuing to fight it no more just because I want to be right. There's a difference between me and most people on the internet. Once I realize I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, nah, I had that wrong. Wow. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't do that. Like they just want to ride the wave. And I'm not a wave rider. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm my own man. I stand on my own too. Uh, off topic, worst time. Yeah, everyone I know that's single, it's a rough time. It's a rough time. It's a horrible era to be single. Horrible. Horrible. What are your thoughts on Tinder and dating apps? I don't have them. I never used it. Never will. Let's see. Kobe King, Jordan, all goat, and you still can't forget Kareem and Bill. Yep. There's so many great players, man. Talking in the chat, my business. Yeah, something weird with Porzingis, man. Whatever condition he got, I hope he's okay. It seems like just always something going on with him, and it sucks. It sucks to see. And even though he's a Celtic, like I don't want to see guys go out like that. I don't want to see guys go out like that. I want to see guys thrive. Like I want to see teams either win or lose at their best. You know what I mean? I'm not with that stuff. Like celebrating injuries, rooting for someone to be hurt, rooting for someone to be sick. I'm not with any of that, y'all. Any of it. I'm a guy that like, look, I want to beat you with your best. I want you to beat me with my best. And I'm not one of these like, look, just because Minnesota beat my Lakers, like I need to watch every one of those games just to watch them lose. I need them to lose. Like, doesn't bring my team back. It doesn't bring my team back. Watch because you're a fan. Don't do weirdo stuff. Which is why all the Laker Timberwolf tramp stamp people last year, y'all got your karma because that team that you stamped on your backside and you sold your basketball soul for came around and beat that ass this year. And you look stupid because he was rocking with them heavy simply because you wanted them to beat the team that just beat you. Well, now they beat you. I still can't get over that, bro. I still can't get over the supreme corniness in that. That was, oh my God, that was wild. The Los Angeles Timberwolves tramp stamp people brought this karma on the Los Angeles Lakers. Y'all asked for this. Y'all asked for this. Y'all damn near had knee pads on for the Los Angeles Timberwolves. and then when we got our ass beat, you all of a sudden you didn't rock with him no more. You wasn't the mistress no more. You was back home. You was back home. I'm gonna make fun of that forever. That I've never seen people go so hard for another team simply because they're playing the team that beat your team. Like this isn't the street. Just because you go get back all damn don't mean you can't bring your boy back. You can't. The Denver Nuggets losing did not bring the Lakers back. It's not like, okay, tap in. We got the energy. We back alive. You can't do that. They're not giving out lives. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. What's up, Cuba? Bandwagon. The bandwagon man. What's going on, Cuba? But man. This stuff is comedy, bro. So some of these people, man, on these in these internet streets they just not grown. They are just not grown, bro. It is crazy. It is crazy. There are a lot of children out here masquerading as adults. But it's all fun and games, man. It's all fun and games, man. I mean no disrespect. I'm just having fun, man. And it's just the internet became a place where people who know nothing think they belong in rooms with people who know something. You know what I mean? It's giving people who's never made a penny in professional sports the ability to think they could GM a team. It's just because you run a half-ass backwards fantasy league, you would get eaten alive by real general managers in professional sports. The people you think are the worst general managers, the people you think are the worst coaches or managers, the people you think are the worst players, you think are the worst at anything would mop the floor with your ass. They would embarrass you so badly. You would be humbled in a second. That's how great these people are at what they do. Not all of them are as great as some of their competitors. and some of them make mistakes. All of them make mistakes. But to sit here and think that you as a citizen on your couch could run a professional team? I can't with y'all, man. I can't. Since we're talking basketball, do you think, what do you think about Dallas now with Cooper Flag? Do they go after Giannis? I was not trying to talk basketball today. Y'all tricked me, man. They're not going after Giannis. They're not trading him for Giannis. Cooper Flag is going to be a Maverick. They're not trading him. I got a super chat in the building. And that's for Ozzy Picasso. What's going on, Ozzy? Appreciate you, man. Hey, just saw you were live. Thoughts on Kim? Appreciate you, Ozzy. Thank you for the 199 super chat. I think Kim has a chance to be a stud, man. At bare minimum, he's going to be a very good fielder with very good speed. He could be a nightmare on the base pads. Going to have some pop, it looks like. Multiple positions. You know what? I really think the combination of him and Edman has a chance to be really crazy with what those two can do. And it's going to be kind of like a dynamic duo of guys you can plug in anywhere. And I can't wait to see that. It's going to be incredible. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. What do you think of the Mavs winning the pick? Watch Nico pick a point guard of Cooper Flag. Yeah, the amount of conspiracy. And let me ask you this. For all of y'all who were like, oh, they had the lowest odds, oh, this percent, it's a lottery. It's a lottery. Let me ask y'all something. You know what your odds are to win the Mega Million Lotto? The $1 billion, the 500 million. You know what your odds are? If you won that lotto, would you be questioning anything? Would it be rigged? Would it be fixed? If you won? I don't pretend to know like I think I know what's going on in these back rooms because I don't know. All I know is it's a lottery. It's a lottery. It's going to be rare when the people with the highest percentage win. That's the reason of the lottery. It's because it gives other teams a chance to win and stop tanking. Now, do the optics look great? Does it look like there's something wild going on? I mean, I could get why people would think it because the whole Dallas and Luka and new ownership and like I get all that, but there's also coincidences. Again, I don't know what's from what in this situation, but all I'm telling y'all right now, you got less odds of winning the Mega Million, and if you won it, you wouldn't give a damn about no damn odds. But that's what a lottery is, y'all. That's what a lottery is. Man's winning the pig. Okay, I talked on that. Okay, I don't want to go down the path of too much basketball here. Well, that's what I'm saying. I could see AD getting traded now because if they're coming in to flag AD and Kyrie and all that, the timeline don't line up. So I can see AD potentially getting moved again. Why do I keep tapping on the same chat? What is going on? Cuba says, where has Joe Soro, aka Robert from Every Los Ravens, been at? I mean, he's on Lakers Fast Break. I know he's doing a show tonight on the Joe Soro Experience. I can't get the Joe Rogan thing out of my head, man. I'm sorry. I don't know why he went down that path. To me, it's just like it's Joe Rogan. I can't get past it. The Joe Soro Experiment, the Joe Rogan Experience. I can't. My brain can't unlearn it. It's like the FedEx arrow. I can't unlearn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't even watch Joe Rogan, but I watch Joe Soro, right? But I don't know. My brain, for some reason, it's one of those things that can't grasp it. Don't be shocked that AD and Giannis team up somewhere. So Jeff trying to be like Kanye with the red light in background. Look up 1998 Kanye. Jeff. I'm only with the red because I got the red hat on tonight. So I got the red and blue. Dodgers do got red and blue in their colors. Red, white, and blue, you know. So I got the red, I got the blue, I got the white, right? So rocking with just different colors today. I got some new hats the last week, man. I got like 10 new hats. I gotta break out. I got one. So the Dodgers parade hat, the one that was really hard to find, like the creamish color with the light blue brim, the champion one. Oh man, I got one in the actual Dodger color. Oh man, it's so cold. Oh my God, I can't wait to break that one out. I got the all gray. I got the triple white, the white on white one, but that one, man, that one is like gonna be impossible to keep like clean. So I've been getting hats all the time, man. And so the amount of hats I have, it's like sneakers. The amount of hats and sneakers I have that I don't wear is crazy. But yeah, it felt like wearing a little bit more red lately, man. Let's see. Dave Roberts or Rob Pelinka, how do you compare? They're different. One manages the actual sport, one's in the front office. So they're two totally different gigs, two totally different sports. It's crazy. Oh, he said Kanye. You said Kane. My bad. Let me see. I said bro. I'm tripping. 1998 Kane Jeff. That red light. My bad. I don't know, bro. I'm on right now. My fault. Experiment. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why I keep calling experience. That's Joe's fault, man. I might. Shit. I have no idea. Maybe. K card. Oh man, that's comedy. Yeah, I don't know why my brain took that as Kanye. I don't know nothing about WWE. I don't know nothing about wrestling, which is weird because a lot of hip hop guys are big into wrestling, and I'm just not. I'm not at all. Never have been. Never have been. But it's wild. I said Kanye. Oh, that's wild. That's wild. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Empire Jeff. This is Empire Jeff TV. If you're tuning in late, catch the replay. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Search, I appreciate you for doing what you do. You the best in the business as always. Ozzy, I appreciate your super chat. Everyone, I appreciate your chats. Appreciate you being here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. We'll always appreciate that. Most importantly, I value your time, our most precious asset in life. So as always, let's go Dodgers. Let's see if they can get this series win tomorrow against the A's and head into this series with the Angels this weekend, man. Love y'all. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. I will catch you guys maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a back-to-back and see what's up. But make sure to follow me on all my socials at Empire Jeff TV, on IG, on Twitter X, obviously here on YouTube, and on TikTok, where, man, my TikTok's starting to take off, yo. I'll be on there more right now than YouTube because it's quick clips. But I would say like only 30% of the clips I do on TikTok make it to YouTube Shorts. So follow me on TikTok, IG, and I'll continue the conversation over there. So y'all stay safe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Love y'all. Peace.